close to 500 people to this event. I would say about like 300 were creators, and there were some people that are with like the Sony internal team, and then also like part of the music department. And
it's
it was
a ton of people.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
I thought it was like 50.
Yeah, I was like, how did he get in?
Yeah,
But
that makes more
500?
sense.
Yeah,
Makes so much
checks
more
out.
sense
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get.
I
in
know,
that
for
way.
500.
I shoot Canon, but 500 people. Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 79 of the 505 podcast. One-handed crack, boys. Let me get us started here. Go, Chase. Fire, dude.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, dude.
I was feeling strong.
That was a 9-4.
Yeah, I was feeling really strong.
Light. That was light. Double down. They just didn't
Not a
have
9-4. Not a 9-4.
It's part of the can.
It's
I'm
the
blaming
can.
the can.
Yeah, 7-1. Next.
God, that was my best one.
Oh, I struggled a little bit, but
You know what? You didn't actually struggle that hard,
Yeah.
but you sounded
You
like you're
sounded
sad.
like you were struggling.
Yeah, right?
6-9. Keon in the
Confidence.
corner, dude.
Stop it.
Give it to me, dude. Oh, from here that looked great. Oh my god, dude, crater.
Jesus
No, it's
Christ.
actually dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
Are we on the moon right now?
3-9, dude. 3-9 in the
all those
corner.
Neil
craters.
Armstrong
Yo,
over
but
there.
the light in the corner is popping. Dude.
Yeah, wow.
What are we talking? Yeah, Lume Cube hooked it up, dude. Shout out to the light in the corner. It's looking good.
That's
Look at
Luma
that.
Cube. Pretty sure Kian was saying Luma Key just to keep
Lume
that
Cube.
intact. Lume Cube. Lume Cube?
Lume
Oh,
Cube.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know what it was either.
Lume Cube. Thank you for the lights. Keeping Keon's corner tight and bright, baby. You know what I'm
Tight,
saying?
tight and bright, dude.
Dude, so after I hit 10K, I just people are sending shit now, and so
uh-oh.
we got Ralph. Ralph noticed your boy. Ralph noticed your boy, dude. So we're gonna get a little spritz here. Keon, we're gonna toss this to the corner real quick. Oh, look at
Wow.
that catch,
You know
dude.
what, dude?
Oh, that smells
Let me
amazing.
test this
Get one on.
I
out there.
fucking I made
Little
salmon
Ralph.
for dinner, like Cuz is doing actually, and I just smell fishy, dude.
Let's
dude.
get you a little Ralph. Yep.
Nice,
A little shake. Yep. Ooh.
Did I get in?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're looking good. Smelling good.
It's funny because when you're on a podcast, you can't see stuff, right? People can't see us if they're listening,
Yeah.
so they can't see us doing this, but they
No.
really can't smell it either. So this
Definitely.
is really good content.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'll go a little
41% of you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube,
Wow.
which is
I
an
think it's going down at least.
unbelievable stat. We were at the 60s, now we're at 40%. So please, dude, hit the sub button.
Definitely.
Come on.
And this is low-key perfect timing for Brayden to get new cologne, because what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, I broke my Chanel number 5, just snapped it in half in
No,
the bathroom. Yeah,
really?
just broke it. It was a
When-
birthday
when
gift.
was that?
Well, see, I time my cologne perfectly because every 2 years ish is when I go through a bottle. It takes me a long time.
Sure,
you know?
that's like the right amount
Yeah,
of
if you're
time.
going
Don't
through
wear it every day.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So it ended, and I was banking on Christmas this year. I'm
Right.
like, I was
Yeah.
holding out till Christmas. Now I'm screwed. I'm gonna have to buy it myself. But then Ralph Lauren came in clutch and sent me these 2 little
Nice,
bottles for
dude.
back to school. So
Come
shout
on.
out to Ralph.
I
Dude.
love it. I'm a Santal 33 kind of guy, Labo.
It's a good
Yeah.
scent.
I want to get that.
Yeah, dude, it's
But
good
now that
shit.
I know that you have it, I don't know if I can jock your swag.
Nah, dude, it's good. I like.
Dude, what do you think about other people stealing your scent? Does that bug you?
Well, here's the thing. It's so popular. It's kind of like the Aimee on Dior of the scent, you know? And if you, like, I was in the elevator and I smelt it on this guy and I was like, what's up, dude? And we like handshook because I was like, I wear that too. It's cool. And I
Yes.
definitely do that with AIM shit, dude. If I see someone wearing like an AIM hoodie, I'm like, what's up, man?
Yeah. No
I
doubt.
do.
Dude, no, and I said what's up to somebody the other day, yesterday. Guess what? I'm in Erewhon. Walk in the door, dude.
Okay.
Walk in the door at Erewhon, and I see a large athletic figure in front of me, and I'm like,
Brayden's like, that's one of me.
yeah, it's one of like a very
I ain't looking
very
in the mirror.
similar like build and
Sure,
such.
sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure.
Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
Yeah, so
similar
I'm-
anger
I'm like-
profile as well.
I'm like, Russ, what's going on? And he turned around. He's like, use the camera. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
it all clicked. So I introduced him to Chloe, and he's like, hey, what's up, Russell Westbrook? He's like, how's everything going? Still taking pictures? I'm like, that's what I do. I take pictures.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, we chatted.
Can't
It'd be
believe
so
it.
funny if Chloe was like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Lakers, but
Right.
my boyfriend works for them.
Right.
Chloe
He's
said,
like, I used to.
Chloe doesn't know who Russell Westbrook
Of course,
is.
of course
Yeah,
not.
has no idea. She goes, did you guys like work together on something? And I go, he plays
Right.
in the NBA. She's like, that makes so much sense. Like, he's pretty tall, but she's like, but not too tall.
Right.
And I'm like, he's pretty tall, dude.
Right.
Like,
How
come
tall
on.
is he? Like 6'4", 6'5"?
Nah,
No, he's-
6'2" or
I think
3.
he's like 6'2", but he's
Yeah.
yoked.
But he's yoked, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And he was just getting a couple smoothies, not the smoothie that I was getting. But
Nice.
it's okay. I was trying to get him onto like the Hailey Bieber smoothie. He
Right.
said he was good.
That's funny.
You give them a try of your smoothie.
I'm like, you're Rusty.
You gotta try this.
please, man, just slurp it.
Dude, it was funny. But after that,
dope.
yeah, it was funny. It was a funny little interaction. But this weekend, we got to work on a spec project, and we're always telling people to do spec projects. And if you don't know what they are, basically they're just a free video for like a brand. So you take on the direction, you do it yourself. You maybe put a little bit of money into it, hire actors, whatever. So we did one for this wallet case that's on the back of my phone, and it was really fun. It was with Chloe and Kyle, our good buddy Kyle.
Nice.
So we're making the second part of it's going to be done in a few weeks when I get a free weekend.
How'd it go?
It was amazing. It was great. So we rented fun little dolly. Got it.
Nice.
You love the dolly.
Love a dolly. So smooth.
So smooth. It really made everything. The first shot was just immaculate. Just
First shot of the whole shoot.
The whole shoot, yeah, it was just great. With the slider, started that off.
Nice.
And it was nice because, okay, we spent like $175, got all this great gear.
It's like nothing.
Yeah, nothing to make something really cool. And now we're going to film the second part in a few weeks, and it'll be a great ad to add to the portfolio. It was a great time. It was also what we did this time differently than what a normal spec ad would do. I think this will help people a lot. So we had a sheet of paper, and it went through every shot and every scene. And so we drew arrows on this like piece of paper, right?
Yep.
And so let's pretend there was 10 shots in the living room. And so on this piece, we had exactly the angle, the millimeter on each arrow, as well as like the height of the tripod, whether there's a low angle, high angle, whatever. And that's so helpful because then when you're sitting there, we can just set up, oh, yo, next shot 2A is from the same spot, tripod, boom, knock it off. And so much easier than just showing up and be like, we have a 50 mil, but like, where's that at? So really taking it seriously, like someone's paying you, and that'll make your spec ad or anything that you work on 10 times better.
And I think it's so important to like, you gotta be as efficient as possible. Holy shit. You gotta be as efficient as possible on shoots because landed the plane. Because you have a limited time. And if you can figure out like, oh, this setup is on the tripod with a 50 millimeter, and I have a shot that's like a little down the road, but the same lighting setup that is also on the same tripod in the same spot with the 50 millimeter, you got to group your shots based on like setup and location, not like obviously chronological order, because you don't care. You can put it together in the edit. And you just got to like maximize it as efficient as possible. Because if you move the tripod and then have to put it back for the same shot, it's just rookie hour, dude.
Moving the lights too, dude.
Yeah,
so we used our beautiful lights, and it was we were really shaping it. We had some floppies, we had some boards and stuff, and so really shaping the light, and it makes such a difference to just have the like a little diffusers, little diffuser things, little negative fills. It just makes the shot so much different. You can do that for a very cheap price. Like you can get C stands are $5 a pop.
Right.
So you can get some C stands, get some negative fill, get some diffusion, just make your spot look so much prettier than just, oh, pop a light here, pop a light there, call it a day.
Right.
A C stand to rent?
Yeah. So rent a C stands are $5.
I don't think you can buy a C stand for $5.
Really expensive to buy.
Yeah.
Really cheap to rent.
Yeah, which is weird.
So weird. Like $350 to buy. But yeah, it was a great little weekend. Fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
You did something else though, pretty fun.
What else did I do
this weekend? You hung out with the Rocks.
Oh, dude, yeah, I forgot. We had a little rock meetup while you were gone to the mountain.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we got some of the rocks from my coaching program, and this morning of the shoot, right, I wake up, or like our little meetup, I wake up, just pissing rain outside.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm like, this is great. Of course, I picked the one Saturday the whole month.
So you're thinking, so it's your coaching program.
Yes.
And you're thinking the rocks are going to come out that are like nearby, and we're going to like hang out, maybe shoot something.
That's exactly what I thought.
I love it.
So I wake
near
up.
and far.
Near and far, yeah. So I woke up though, and I was typing the Discord. I go, hey, we're going to probably postpone. Very sorry about this. Next message immediately is a picture on a flight, and it said ... Next one under it said no. And I'm like, well, dude, the show's going on. Like, we're going to do something. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. My original plan was going to go to a park. We're going to do some journaling stuff, some goal setting situations. And obviously that plan was out the window.
Right.
So we came over to 505.
How many kids?
Seven rocks came.
Were you here just like this little field trip?
It was funny because I left. So I'm a dumbass, and I was with Daniel, who's helping me do BTS. So Daniel's over here. We order Goop. So we go over, everyone meets at Goop. And so we all
dude, that is so funny because these kids are coming to LA and they're like, yeah, sick Goop kitchen, like the most LA place you could meet.
Or Erewhon.
Yeah, I wasn't going to make people spend $40.
Right,
so we went to Goop, got food, came back here. Well, I left my fucking Goop at Goop. Fuck. So it was great. So everyone was just posted here. I'm like, Daniel, watch the rocks, like make sure everyone's good. Kostas said he pops out of the bathroom, was like, what the heck is going on in the living room?
Dude, that is so fucking funny.
I went to go meet my mom, and I was like hanging out in my room, doing whatever. And then I walk out and I'm like, there's like 8 people in our living room. What the heck? Everyone's like looking at me. I go, what's up, guys? Peace.
and I was just like hustling to get back. We made it. And everyone was still eating. It was fun.
And then what you journaled in the...
So we did some goal setting practice. We talked about like the spec ad that we were working on and just different ways to pitch clients, different ways to go about your workflow, just make them better, make them more efficient. And then we just did like an open Q&A because I was trying to buy time for Golden Hour.
Sure.
And then we went over to Venice, missioned out to the land of Venice Beach.
Nice.
Because I really had to give them like the LA experience.
You got to give them something,
right?
Yeah.
So we rolled to Venice, shot the skaters. Some skaters don't like to be filmed, found that out.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like to be filmed, dude. Some people don't like to be filmed.
I've never gotten that.
Yeah, so don't point your camera at people that don't want to be filmed.
Word.
Yeah, and
Good
you'll be good.
But sometimes you don't know that they don't want to be filmed until you start pointing your camera at them, and then they start yelling at you.
How are you going to know, though?
You can't. You just got to spray and pray and pray, literally. You know?
Right.
I will say, though, Venice is such an interesting place to go film. Like, you're going to get interesting looking shots, and the Venice skate park is a vibe.
It was
classic.
Our buddy Arturo. He's from Mexico. He popped up and he was telling me, he's like, you come here often. I'm like, kind of, not really. This is a pretty wild little place. And he's just like looking around like, holy shit, dude. There's like a Malinois doing backflips, and then there's a guy with like a beatbox thing, and he's like, this is normal. I'm like, it's like GTA, but here. And he's like, this is exactly what a GTA is like.
Dude, literally.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Bobby Lee has such a funny bit about like the homeless in LA. They're talking about how like there's homeless all over. He goes, dude, the homeless in Venice are the worst. Like they think they have talent.
It's so mean.
So funny.
The dudes can jump though, dude. Have you seen that? Yeah. Holy shit, can they jump?
Okay, so you left your food at Goop.
Yeah.
You dropped your cologne.
Nice.
Are we counting the left food
as a drop?
As a drop.
Yeah, I think maybe it's more of an L counter.
It has to be a spill because like I spilled everyone in the elevator last week. Dude, I thought about going back and I was going to take pictures, document it, go back and ask, but I was like, I didn't have it in me.
That's how you know shit's too expensive. You're like, I dropped it and I have to like photograph it to like see if I can get a refund.
Like, dude,
and then there was an egg in our dishwasher, right?
I dropped 2 eggs.
So how did that happen?
So I had cracked the eggs into the bowl that were on the corner because I was going to make a scramble.
You gotta stop putting stuff on corners.
That's
how you stab your foot.
That's why I messed up. Stabbed the foot the same way. Yeah. So I knocked off the eggs and I caught it though midair.
Okay.
Only lost 2 eggs.
Oh.
They're organic though, dude.
Wait,
you know how much eggs cost nowadays?
So much.
$9 for the fucking 12-pack of eggs. Ridiculous.
Okay. You going to Air One for your eggs?
Nope. Ralph's, but organic.
The pasture raised?
Gotta get the pasture raised.
Dude,
you do.
These chickens are happy as fuck that I'm eating.
I think the orange yolks are really important for your like body and shit.
But I'm gonna try to stop dropping stuff slowly.
You took a few L's though. What do you got? 2.5?
2.5.
I mean, I've seen popcorn at the movies. I've seen drinks on your lap, all sorts of stuff.
It's a daily occurrence. So we're gonna start keeping track throughout the week.
Should we start doing like a ranking score, like the one-handed crack? Like how bad is the spill?
I like that.
Okay.
Or just a spill counter. I'll let you guys decide. You guys let us know.
Yeah.
DM us.
Yeah,
Leave a comment.
And while I was gone in Rockland, you were also gone.
I was doing
a different kind of Rockland.
A very different kind of Rockland, very rocky though. I was doing the High Divide in Olympic National Park, which is a fucking intense hike, but it's fun. And I'm trying to warm up for this next hike I have coming up, the Kowlow Trail, which I'm fucking nervous about.
Big hiker,
dude. But this is like, it's like backpacker. So like you got the big backpack, you have all your life in there, like everything you need to survive. So it's about like 40-pound pack. And I'm thinking like, I've done a lot of these before. The first day I'm looking at it, I'm not that nervous. It's like 8 miles, but it's pure elevation. Like every step you take, you're going up. So I'm like a little nervous because like 40-pound pack, 8 miles only up in elevation. I think we did like 4,000 vertical feet. But anyway, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm doing fine. And I'm going with, this is the problem. I'm going with my homie Jacob, who lives in Colorado, knocks off like 16,000 elevation hike.
Billy Goat.
Like every weekend. That's what he does. It's like his thing. So he's always on these trips and he's always pushing the pace, So I'm not like, I'm used to that, right? And then you have Eric, who we're visiting, who like fucking goes on Strava when he does hikes and like sees the fastest time on a hike and is like, I could beat that. And then like does. And then we have Kevin, who I hadn't met before. And I'm like, okay, Kevin and I are probably on the same page, right? I see him, he's got a mullet. I'm like, okay, vibe, dude. And then we're driving to the thing and I'm like, God, I hope I can like do this hike. And I'm like, Kevin, what'd you do last week? And he's like, oh, my buddy and I, we actually like, we ran the fastest ever time on a 42-mile trail. He's like, yeah, we did 8-minute miles for 42 miles straight. For 8 hours, he ran 8-minute miles.
He did it for
fun.
fun.
And he beat the fastest ever time on this 42-minute trail, or 42-mile trail. And I was like, fuck, dude. So I'm sitting in the car just sweating, you know, like, and I'm in the back the whole time, but like, I kind of kept up just on mental, you know. Kevin's doing it in fucking sandals, dude.
Sandals.
Like
the chanclas.
No, I have videos of it. It's just like, they're called bedrocks, just like a thong, you know, and he just like, bloop, 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 has like 50 pounds of, dude, like, oh my God. I was on whiskey duty too, so I had like a glass bottle of Maker's Mark in my backpack, which is like at least 6 pounds, you know. But like Kevin had like, dude, he had like a whole thing of dates. Like he didn't care about weight. He was just like vibing. Like he's like, I want more weight. Cause I was like, I'm a little tired. He's like, you want to put some weight in my pack? Like I'm just.
Can you hold my pack?
Yeah, I haven't
dude?
sweat yet, you know? Dude, it was so intense. But it was fun. I love that shit, dude.
You love it though.
It's funny. I do love it. I do love it.
I have a question. I'm the complainer on the hikes. Like I would be in the back like, fuck this, but I'd be keeping up. Are you a complainer or you just tough it out? You can't go there. You can't go there.
So I didn't complain. I'd ask for like a break here and there, but we didn't break a lot. I mean, we did it really fucking fast just because that's how they like to roll.
What'd they think of the break thing? They didn't like your breaks.
I think a couple times I was breaking and they're like, we're breaking again. Like it's kind of cutting into. I had seen them all like stop their watch, you know, because they're like, but it was sick. We like started in fucking like redwood forest and then you just get to like the top of the mountain in Olympic, which is cool. It's just like exposed. We saw like bears and shit. It was really cool. But the coolest thing, dude, is why camping, because every time I do it, I'm like, man, like why? Like I love this, but why? You know, because it's hard. You know, you're like setting up your tent every night and then you like pack it up and then hike to the next place and set it up and you're like figuring out how you're going to eat. But like
fun. That sounds like
dude,
fun.
But this is why
you're doing it for the four of us because I'm not a big hiker.
So
I'm a glamper.
Yeah. This is the reason why I was trying to figure out why it's so fucking awesome, because it is awesome. And it's like, you know, like the hierarchy of needs thing, like we got all those met all the time, right? You got your shelter, your food, your water, your thing. So all we deal is like anxiety, emotional stress all the time. It's fucking nice for like 2 days to actually just worry about like your shelter and your food. It's like so relaxing in a weird way. You know what I mean?
And anxiety's still kicking. Dude.
No, I got not like
not up there.
You're just thinking like I just need to like
One
get
foot in
shelter,
front of
I
the other.
need to get some food, and I just need to like clean off. I mean, it's also fun too because you do the big hike, you set up your tent, and then you're like, fuck yeah, let's roll, and we like pound whiskey and like skinny dip in lakes and like whatever. It's fun. You get wild, dude.
4 dudes skinny dipping.
Nothing like it, dude. Nothing like it.
Sounds like a good time to me.
I love that. I love
Nothing
that.
like it. Dude.
So how hard is this hike compared to the next one you're doing?
So that one is, so the fucked up thing is, yeah, that one we just did was the first day. The first day was the hard day. The rest of the days were like, I mean, it was like a 5 mile and then another 8 mile, but the third 8 mile was downhill, so it wasn't that bad. That uphill 8 mile, it was 8 miles, 4,000 feet of elevation. The next one we're doing is 11 miles, 6,000 feet of elevation. So harder, for sure harder. Which is going to be, and it's going to be hot.
Are you going to vlog this? I feel like you should.
I film everything.
Possible?
I made a fucking great video in Olympic. I'm going to edit it.
Oh, you haven't cut it yet.
But I got a lot of pictures. Dude, we saw a fucking owl like chirping over and like, cuckoo, like while we were sleeping in the tent, which is pretty cool.
What's your setup?
Oh, dude, I just rock a R6 with a 35 millimeter and a Pro Mist and a variable ND because it's light.
Do you have the peak design?
I do. So it just chills
so
right
you
there.
don't have to worry about
chills
that.
right on the shoulder, and I just. And it's just like that. I hit a button with this and then I grab it and shoot and then I just, it's great. I love it. Dude, I love shooting that kind of stuff.
Is there like an entry level hike that we could maybe participate in? It's like,
you ever heard of Runyon Canyon?
Yeah, baby, you got it.
Right
no,
over
the
there.
thing is, dude, it's the pack. That's what gets you.
Yeah, I don't know
40
about
extra
pack
pounds
and
on your
stuff.
back. It's so hard. But that's the thing about Hawaii is we get to go lighter because it's warm as shit there. So like I don't need to bring a sleeping bag. I don't need to bring a jacket. No, Kevin's not on that hike. Thank fuck, dude.
Kevin didn't get the invite.
Yeah, Kevin was going way too fast.
Kevin was actually fucking dope. He's just so fast. But he like fed us all because he had so much food because he just didn't care
That's
about
great.
weight because he's a beast.
The heat will get you though.
Yeah, the heat will get you, but not having like that heavy of a pack, like a 20-pound pack, is such a difference. Yeah. It was fun though. It was good. I'm tired.
I'm glad you're having fun.
When I crawled into bed last night, I was like, oh, a bed. You know, like fuck yeah.
Speaking of beds, dude, we have a bed that is actually moved into the overpass because so Kian used to sleep
right
just on a piece of cardboard,
Right.
and he's recently gotten a mattress brand deal because the pot is popping, you know, and so brand deals are flying to him, and he has a huge announcement coming from the much brighter Kian's corner.
Yeah, what's up, Rock? So basically, I made a pretty big life decision this past week that I'm pretty excited about, and that decision is that I decided to drop out of college.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
go. You know, I've kind of had that gut feeling when I started school and throughout this whole time, because I really have such a passion for life and to work hard and to like accomplish really amazing things at a young age. And I feel like whenever I start doing school, it kind of like suppresses that, and it doesn't really fit in my life, for me at least personally, because, you know, spending tens of thousands of dollars to just do like discussion posts and stuff. And I thought I might as well embrace all this energy. I'm young, you know, I can always go back to school. And yeah, I'm just really excited. Like, I did want to finish it for my parents because both my parents are teachers. So that was a little difficult, but I tried. I actually went to 3 universities, which is kind of ridiculous. I went to the University of Oregon, go Ducks, Brayden. Then I went to UCSB, UC Santa Barbara, and San Diego State. And, you know, I wouldn't take it back. Those experiences definitely forged me, and I had a lot of good times. And I'm just excited for the future. Like, I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's going to be a process, but I've definitely like kind of trained myself to embrace discomfort. And I know it's just going to push me to be better and push my limits to see how far I can go. So I'm really excited to see how far the pod can go and just everything else in life.
So if you're listening, we need 500 likes, dude, or this kid is not going to get another mattress.
And go follow him on Instagram.
Follow Kian on the gram. Hit this video and make it get to 500 likes for the dropout.
Yeah, rocks. Come on. I really love you guys. Like, it does mean a lot for me, like seeing how much you guys support us, and the numbers have been awesome. And it's really cool that we've been building this community. And yeah, I like that goal. I want to see how much the boulders, the pebbles, the rocks, I want to see how much we can all come together.
Full court press.
And let's just shoot for 500 likes.
Come
Why
on,
not?
baby. Let's go.
That's awesome, man.
I'm happy for you. I think that I remember when you came over here, what was it, 2 years ago, and you couldn't even open Premiere, and he said he could. Yeah. He said he could, bro. Kian was pressing like you could like really rip a video, and I was like, all right, Kian, just move that keyframe over. And I remember him looking at me like, what's a keyframe? So I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see, you know, what you do in life, and we're gonna be right there with you. So I'm fucking hyped for you.
Yeah, I love you, boys. Dude. I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. So I really do appreciate you guys.
I think you're right. I like that you're seeing, like, you know, some people college works for them, you know, and it's like they thrive in that like academic like discussion post. Even it's like, okay, I want to do like this, and I'm going to care a lot about this. But Kian, you're like, I feel like I care a lot about other shit, that this is just taking my time away. And it's good for you to be like, it's just impressive that you can be like, this is normal, the college thing, but it's not who I am, you know? A way to forge your own path, my dude. I love that.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Chase.
Question for you, Kian. How much did going to a $38 million mansion in the hills affect your decision on whether to do school or not?
I mean, I was feeling good, man. I was like, shoot, I'm already up here. Like, I think I can keep this going a little bit.
Just sleep on that couch up there. So yeah, tell me the story.
Okay, so here's the thing. Night Tales, okay? If you don't know who they are, great music. Kind of similar to like Rufus to Soul vibes, right? First ever concert I shot was at a nightclub in LA. It was Night Tales. So I've become good friends with the manager, and they were performing at this like really nice $38 million house in the hills. And they're coming out with a new song, so they wanted me to come out and film a music video. I was like, okay, I can definitely do that. Could use some help, I think, right? So I was like, yo, Kian.
Perfect.
You trying to come with me to the hills, dude? It'll be a fun time. So Kian came with.
He watched you elevate?
Watch me elevate, dude.
Oh, we were elevating all night. Nice. Elevating.
So we're getting some great shots, right? And they did 2 performances. One was like a 5-song performance upstairs. And then, of course, $38 million house. It was literally a nightclub in the fucking basement.
Jesus,
so we go down. I'm still filming, you know.
Right.
I'm A cam, right? So I got to take it seriously. I look over.
B cam? What's he doing?
Just risen up the hottest girl at this fucking party, man.
Nice.
Entertaining clients.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, Kian, like part of me is like, we got to film. And then part of me is like, man, I'm proud of my boy, dude. Like, fuck yeah.
I think Kian's B cam should just be a GoPro chest mount and just see what he gets into. It'd be so funny. You watch it through his string out. It's like the concert, and then just like throwing this lady, spinning her.
Oh, dude. But
that's fucking so good.
It was a good time. It was a good time, right, Kian?
Yeah, I had the time of my life, man. Like, I don't know. I'm in the hills having some drinks, just listening to some good music.
Hell yeah, dude.
You were supposed to also film some other stuff this last weekend.
I was. So I get hit up to go shoot the Chainsmokers. Now, if you know anything about your boy, I love the Chainsmokers.
Coast has loved the Chainsmokers for a long time.
And when me and Josh were DJing,
Those are your guys,
dude. We were like, we're the next Chainsmokers.
Yeah, that was your goal.
So love the Chainsmokers, and I was always like, man, like it'd be really fun to film them. Like it would be really sick. So I got hit up to do just iPhone video of the Chainsmokers. Now it was this past weekend, September 1st to the 3rd.
And you're looking at your hand like, I got an iPhone.
Exactly. I go, dude, fat day rate just for iPhone, no editing. I just have to send off the iPhone clips just to be like making TikToks. Only problem, boys, is that Sarah Catherine, my girlfriend, her birthday is September 3rd.
Ooh,
so
shit. Dude, the internal struggle of this, because I've had shit like this, dude, hurts, man. And it'll take me days.
So not only was I going to go with artists that I've really wanted to shoot for a while, but they're flying private. They're going.
Commercial.
It's Labor Day weekend. They're going New York to Vegas, same night.
Doing the whole
jet.
thing?
Then they're doing 2 nights sold out at Red Rocks. I've never been to Red Rocks.
No way.
I know. So I go.
I
Listen.
feel my heart rate picking up.
I go. Listen. I can do New York. I can do Vegas. I can do 1 night of Red Rocks, but I gotta fly home Sunday morning. Like I gotta be back for her birthday. And he's like, okay, let me see if like it can happen. And it didn't end up working out. But I was telling Kian,
You did the right thing.
I totally did the right thing.
You had to do the right thing.
Yeah, but
Hard dog.
dude, I was talking to Kian on the way back from the hills. I go, Kian, this has potential to be the best week of my life, dude. Like in the hills, filming at a $40 million mansion, going on a Sony trip.
Yep.
And then the day after I get back, going out on a jet with the Chainsmokers. Chainsmokers thing didn't end up happening, but it was still a pretty epic week.
There you go.
You got to see some new cameras.
I
And you
did
did the
get
right
to see
thing.
some
Yes.
new cameras.
Let's hear about the
Lots of
cameras.
cameras, lots of lenses.
So if you guys are a fan of the podcast, you know that we've had a few people on who are Sony shooters, and they've gotten invited to these Sony camera camps. And
We also had a Canon ambassador
Yes,
on. Remember
yes.
that?
Yeah, we did. We
Yep.
did.
Yep. So put that
and
down.
for whatever reason, your boys never got the invite.
Oh, wonder why.
Couple weeks ago, I, wake up, I'm drinking my morning cup of coffee. I open up my Gmail and I see an invite from Sony to this Sony KANDO event. And I go, where's KANDO? Like, what is this? That's just the name.
It was an invite. Did you spit out the coffee?
What?
Were you just like,
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
holy
Slow-mo.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, slow-mo.
And so long story short, I get invited to what is a annual event called the Sony KANDO event. It was in Utah this year. And basically they just brought out like close to 500 people to this event. I would say about like 300 were creators, and there were some people that are with like the Sony internal team, and then also like part of the music department. And
It's
it was
a ton of people.
Yeah.
I was
Ton of
wondering.
people. I thought it was like 50.
Yeah, I was
in
like,
my head.
how did he get in?
Yeah,
But
that
at
makes more
500?
sense.
Yeah,
Makes so much
checks
more
out.
sense
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get.
I
in
know,
that
for
way.
500.
I shoot Canon, but 500 people. Fuck. Slide me right in.
But it was a ton of fun, and it was very validating as a creator, like actually finally getting an invite.
For sure.
Me maybe making a lot of content around Sony and kind of like hyping them up in my content might have had something to do with it. I still have no idea like how they found me or how they got the invite. They probably listened to the podcast.
Probably.
Yes.
And we're like, let's throw this guy a bone. Finally,
Right.
he's talked enough about Sony.
Right.
But yeah, it was a ton of fun. And I got to meet some really cool people. And yeah, I'm just like excited I got to go.
So they released like 14 cameras there and a couple
Yes.
couple
Ooh,
lenses.
so those are like the first cameras, like the first
they got
time
to
people
see them, right?
So it was really cool because I've never been to a keynote speech of
Ooh.
any kind ever. And the president of Sony, like was on stage. He had a keynote speech and he released all these 2 new cameras and 1 new lens. So they released the Sony A7CR
Nice.
and the Sony A7C II.
Oh, what's the C?
Main differences are that the A7CR has an ISO range from 100 to 32,000, and the other one, A7C2, is 100 to 51,200. And it also says here that the A7C2 has a 33 megapixel sensor, and the A7CR has a 61 megapixel sensor, which is
Holy
crazy.
tits, man. So the C is kind of like a what is it? C for combo? You know what I mean?
I really don't know.
You know, if I'm being honest, I don't know too much specifics on like the specs. They ran through them all. The A7CR, I believe retails for about $3,000, and it's like a killer photography camera.
It's like a photo
Yeah. And the A7C2 is a really good like hybrid camera. A lot of people, because I made a video about it, talking about it and like doing some
Comparisons?
not some comparisons. I was just like testing out the cameras, some test shots, and people were asking like, oh, what's the difference between the A7C2 and like the A7 IV? And like, I don't know enough about both cameras to know really like which one I recommend more. I will say though, like when I was watching the keynote, they had these videos that were playing of like just like hype Sony videos.
Nice.
Bro, I got like low-key goosebumps. I was like, this is this is crazy. Like,
any of your shots make it in?
No, none of my shots made it in. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
But I just got hyped from the video, and I was like, this is really cool that I'm a part of like this really cool company.
Hell yeah.
And I will say though, when they announced the cameras, because it wasn't a camera that I could see myself actually purchasing, like we got to test out the cameras.
Slammed it.
I wasn't not in that way. It's just like not for me. I wasn't like so like stoked to get my hands on it because
Just
I was like, okay,
it again, dude.
no, like
Just fucking with you.
whatever, man.
Dude, just
Sony, I love you,
fucking boom, dude.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if it was like an A7S4, I'd be like, oh my God, like, I
Right,
think
totally.
I want that camera.
Fuck yeah.
I'm hyped to buy it.
And
right?
I would know about it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I see. So since
Totally.
it wasn't necessarily like marketed towards you, it was
Yes.
a little different. But what about the crazy lens they came out with?
Okay, so they came out with the Mark II of the 16 to 35,
Nice.
and I was like, I was pissed, dude, because
'Cause you-
I brought my 16 to 35,
And now it's so
and
embarrassing, dude.
now it's broken.
It broke
Yeah.
on the way over. It broke.
Yeah, and that's probably how they make money off all these $500 people or 500 people. They looking at their lens and they're like, it's fucking up there on the big screen. It's a new
So,
one.
you know, now I gotta go buy another 16 to 35
Yeah, that's
Mark II
brutal.
because my Mark I doesn't work anymore.
Right, too big.
Give me like two things with that lens. What makes it special? The new one, because the first one's pretty damn good, right?
Okay, so it has an aperture ring.
On the actual lens.
On the actual
I
lens.
like those.
That's fun.
Touch them on accident all the time though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
interesting.
yeah, you boys twisting just the whole lens. I do this when I zoom. You know, I just full body zoom.
What else we got?
It's lighter, it's smaller. When you like zoom it in and out, it doesn't stick out as far.
I love that.
So seeing the new cameras first was sick. It reminded me like of an Apple.
Yeah,
event,
that's what I was
like,
thinking. I was like,
new
this is
iPhone
perfect.
coming out. And then also speaking about gear, this was like one of the coolest parts about the whole weekend. So I'm chilling there with Jayhawk, and this guy comes up to us like, hey, can I talk to you guys and get your opinion? Like, I'm the head of product development, like new products at
crazy.
Sony. Like, is there anything you would like to see from us? So me and Jay are like, oh, this is our chance, dude.
Right.
Like, let's tell him what the fuck we want, new gear wise.
Yep.
And like, hopefully he'll listen to us. And he was like actually the nicest guy. He had like an iPad. We sat with him for like 20, 30 minutes. And the main thing that we said that we think that Sony should put out is a camera that is specifically made or specifically geared towards vertical content.
Interesting.
And the reason for that is because there's never been a camera that's been specifically marketed for vertical content. And we tried to get it through his head of like, listen, you guys already have all these other cameras that are made horizontally or like for horizontal first.
Right.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
content.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, that's all it ever has
Yeah.
been.
Exactly. But now that like vertical content is here to stay, it's like it would make sense if like a camera was built with the ergonomics specifically made for vertical content. And like you wouldn't cannibalize any of the other things. And so we said like
This one is this like the closest thing they've came to it.
Yeah,
but I feel what you
right.
mean, like the hand placement and like
Yeah.
like if
thumbs
the
and
grip was not
Yes,
there, if it was
yes.
on the
If it was,
side,
like,
Here,
something or
and then
other,
you could
yeah.
be like,
and I said maybe make the screen even like less rectangular and maybe even a little bit more square. And then like if you make it like this, you shouldn't have to tilt your head to read the menu. Like the menu should flip.
flip
that's
for
a great.
sure,
Yeah,
dude.
that's good.
Honestly,
That's good.
embarrassing that it doesn't, dude.
They should on all the cameras.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I also told him that they need to make an A1 with a flip out screen.
Yeah.
You think that?
embarrassing.
Do you think that's gonna really get to him?
I really.
I bet he heard that a lot. It's so stupid that camera doesn't flip out.
I really feel like it's the only thing missing from that.
Yeah.
And then I said, you guys should make. So I talked to Ryan Cow and he gave me a little insider info.
the cow.
Apparently, they're working on a 20 to 70 f2.8, and Canon already has a 20 to 70 f2.
Oh, they do.
And so a 20 to 70
That's a sick lens,
like
dude.
f2 or
Really?
f2.8 would be like sick. I go, listen.
20 is the right, dude. I need 20. 24 is a little too tight.
Yeah.
Well, but I said, I go, you guys need to make a 16 to 50 or 16 to 55 G Master f2.8, because you can get like a 16 to 55 like kit lens.
It's crappy. Yes,
crappy.
Canon has one too.
But like, if you're vlogging, you're probably going to go with a 16 to 35, right?
Right.
And 35 is still on like the wider side of the spectrum.
Right.
I feel like if you had a 16 to 55, that would be like the best vlogging lens.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, it would be.
It'd be like the one lens that would probably never leave your camera.
No, I mean, that's the lens that I had in Norway, you know, that tiny, it was like this big. That lens rips, dude. I
Yeah,
mean, and I vlogged on it, you know, it's a big deal.
It's interesting to see where the stuff's kind of going, you know?
Right. I do think there will be, it's funny because Sony will make a vertical focus camera and then a week later Canon will announce.
Canon's gonna
and
drop it.
Even Nikon will probably make one.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
It's not fucking, you know?
But yeah, so if I want to hear from the Rocks what kind of gear they would like to see from Sony, I can relay what you
Right.
guys want.
Relay it over.
Yeah.
So yeah, any ideas, kids?
Yeah, let us know in the
people?
comments.
Let us know.
But I will say, like, when I was there, right, everyone has their camera out, everybody's making content, and you almost have a little bit of anxiety, or at least I did. I was
For
like,
sure.
what kind of content should I make? Like, I gotta like film something, right? But honestly, like I made a video with the new camera because I was like, okay, like this will probably like do well, and it's like an interesting piece of content. Like I have it in my hands, I might as well make some sort of video with it. But I was less focused on making content while I was there, and more so focused on kind of like connecting with new people.
Totally.
Because I feel like that's what it's all about when you're there, is like making new connections, and just meeting new people that you haven't met before, or like hanging out with people who you maybe follow each other on Instagram but have never met in real life, or like have maybe met, you know, a handful of times. So I took it upon myself to interview a couple of them because I was like, I'm there, I might as well, like not a
Right.
full podcast interview because I didn't have my freaking boys there. But I was like, you know, I'll think of like a handful of questions, ask these creators some questions. So we're going to go into these interviews for a little bit. We
hear
got like 4 of them. So here we go. What is your name and where are you from?
My name's Nick Chae. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas.
Dope. And Nick, what kind of content do you make?
I started with lifestyle and now moving into like tech reviews, but a little bit of fashion and photography on the side. So a little bit of everything, to be honest.
I love that. You've had some of the freshest fits here,
Hey,
I will say.
appreciate it.
So
Thank you, sir.
The fashion makes sense. All right, so what is your camera setup right now?
I actually have it right here. So primarily I've been shooting with the Sony a7S III. I've had this for like 2 to 3 years, and honestly, like it pretty much does everything I needed to.
Yeah.
Great low light performance, slow motion, like the build quality, flip out screen. Like it's probably the best video camera right now for content creators, but they have come out with so many other products like the ZV-E1, the new A7C II. So it's gonna be a little bit difficult figuring out what I'm gonna be rocking for the next year, especially because I want something light and compact for my daily vlogging setup. So
Do you own that or did you rent that here?
these are both rented right here.
Okay, cool. And how have you been liking that?
I tested out the ZV-E1 in San Diego at Camera Camp, and honestly, I think it's pretty much perfect for vloggers. You have a lot more, like, they basically simplified all the buttons, all the menus to make it just way more user-friendly.
Yeah.
And I think, like, between this and the A7C II, because it doesn't have that, like, awkward top part, it makes it a little bit easier to slip it into a bag, because you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that, like, protruding
That makes
part.
sense, that
so
makes
that's like a
sense.
big thing, like, why I'm trying to switch over to those.
Cool.
But then lenses, obviously the new 16-35 that they just dropped here
Fresh.
is probably like the best lens on the market right
Yeah.
now. I think it's like so lightweight, so compact, and everyone uses the 16-35, so it makes sense they finally upgraded it. But this is definitely like game changer.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was messing around with it yesterday.
it's so
it's
nice.
Okay, so what is something you're trying to work on as a content creator moving forward in the next year?
That's a tough one. You know, I think this trip has really helped me reevaluate kind of my focus and my direction. So after this, really just kind of honing in on, you know, why I make videos. You know, I think being in the space for so long, you get kind of, it gets repetitive and you kind of just go on autopilot. So really having a direction, really having a purpose and making content that at the end of the day, like, I want to watch, and I know my audience will also, you know, enjoy watching. But at the end of the day, just having fun with it and just getting to meet new people is like the best way I'm going to be able to grow as a creative. And, you know, this camp and this trip has helped so much.
I feel the same way, man. It's like you can't.
What up, boys?
Y'all know Ryan.
What are you doing here?
Dude, we're just
Chilling,
having,
bro.
you know, a couple little questions
wanna
for
hop
505 Pod.
Little vibes on the
Ryan's
pod.
been on.
Oh, word, you want to hop in?
I'm trying to go fly some FPV.
What is something that maybe you implemented into your content, whether it's a strategy, a mindset shift that helped you take things to the next level as a creator?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because I think I'm at that point right now where it's either like I go full time and go like 10 times harder, or it's just like I'm burning out and like I'm gonna give up. So I think it's really just believing in yourself, just knowing that you are capable of accomplishing whatever you set your mind to, and really just having that dedication and motivation to just keep pushing. You know, being a content creator is a fun job, but at the end of the day, it's difficult. You have your own schedule, your own hours, and at the end of the day, you don't have a boss, so it's really up to you to stay committed and really grind out your goals. So just kind of having that mentality that like you are good enough, that you are capable of doing what you set your mind to. And I think that's something that, you know, I'm really going to be pushing, and hope you guys follow too.
Hell yeah. And then, okay, I was going to say one piece of advice to new creators.
This is something that I've also been pondering too. Like, if you were starting in YouTube right now, like if I was starting in YouTube right now, like what would I want to know? And honestly, this is probably pretty cliche, but you kind of just have to get started. You know, you have to start filming, start editing. You have to get your first piece of content out there. And then from there, the ball gets rolling and you can really start to get into your flow and really figure out what your purpose and direction and kind of creative style is. And if I hadn't made, you know, 100 videos prior to where I am now, you know, like I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't even be at this Sony trip if I had never just picked up my first camera and like just started making a vlog. And you know, at the beginning, like I had never expected it to turn out to, you know, be like this. And for a lot of people, you know, nowadays everyone kind of wants to be a creator, and I think that's pretty inspiring from us. You know, like we have a pretty big responsibility to uphold, and people look up to us as role models at the end of the day. And like, how can we help the next generation, you know? And like, we're still pretty young, and being at this camp, there's so many OGs, you know? And so if you think about it, we're about to be that next wave, you know?
True.
So how can we inspire the upcoming generation, right? So it really is just like committing to it, getting started. It obviously is not going to be your best video, the first one you make, but after 100 videos, like, you're going to get in the flow of things, and you're really going to be able to find your creative inspiration.
I love that. All right, one last question. Where do you see content going in general in the next 6 to 12 months?
I mean, the content space has already been changing so much. Like, everyone is really shifting towards vertical content, and I think that's a good thing, because, you know, people have shorter attention spans, and, you know, you want something quick, but at the end of the day, like, long form video will always remain. I think YouTube will still remain its hierarchy in terms of just where people go to put long form content. And while yes, everyone is pushing shorts and reels and TikToks, you know, as much as I want to prioritize putting my focus there, I know for me personally, I enjoy making longer form content. I can tell a better story. I have more flexibility to work with, rather than, oh, if they don't watch it in the 5 seconds, then they're not going to watch the whole thing, you know? So the kind of space we're in right now is really, I don't know, it's difficult because, like I said, people have such short attention spans, so you really have to like capture them right in the first couple seconds. And I'm not exactly sure if I like that, but I mean, it works, so it's kind of difficult for me to say, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I think vertical content's for sure here to stay, but I do think there's going to be more of a push towards longer form content again, because I think people are getting like viewer and audience fatigue from so much short form content that they're looking for like longer conversations, like podcast stuff, or kind of getting back to like the roots of YouTube of just like longer form content.
For sure.
But yeah, dude,
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, bro. Thanks for having me.
What is your name? Where are you from? And what kind of content do you make?
All right, so my name is Matthew King. I go by Matty Kay online. I am from South Carolina, and I make consumer tech content. So phones, computers, laptops, stuff like that.
Fire. And what is your setup right now, camera-wise?
So my main camera that I'm using is an FX3. Depending on where I'm at, if I'm at home in my studio, I'm using the 16 to 35. It's that wide angle. It's just so much better in like a small room. And then when I'm traveling, I don't have it with me, but I got the 24 to 70. I don't know, it's perfect. It's kind of like best of both worlds. So yeah, it's nice.
Totally. Okay, what is something you're trying to work on as a content creator moving forward?
I think storytelling is like really something I need to get better at. I think I'm like in a good spot now. You got good cameras, you got good lenses, so it's like easy to make stuff look good. But I think being able to tell a good story that flows and makes sense and is also engaging is super important. So I think if I can like improve that, I think it'd be good.
And it's funny because I don't feel like you necessarily think of storytelling when you're thinking about tech, but if you can find a way to integrate storytelling, I feel like it would make for better content.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what is one thing, I mean, you are crushing it on TikTok and Instagram. Like, what is one thing that you implemented, either a mindset shift or some practice that you incorporated into your business or content in general that allowed you to go to that next level?
I think I tried to stop stressing so much about certain things and to try to have more fun. So I think starting just making the content that I enjoy making instead of making stuff that I think other people would like more. So I'm trying to make stuff that I would consume. What would I like the most? So I think that's helped. And then I think with the way that I'm making videos, I think planning out stuff, scripting videos, as opposed to picking up a camera, pointing at some random stuff, and then being like, okay, what story do I tell? What's the video about? So I think having a plan, having a script, having structure to it, I think that helps a lot.
Totally. What is one piece of advice you would give to an up and coming creator, maybe someone specifically wanting to get into like the tech space?
I think try to be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else or try to, do exactly what everybody else is doing. I think take, inspiration from, a bunch of different people. I think that's what I did. I still do that. Like, the people that I watch, I take little bits of what they're doing that I really like, and I try to incorporate it into what I'm doing. So I think if you take what you see and try to make it your own. Yeah. For one, I think it's going to be more personal to you. It's going to be more fun to make. But yeah, I think it's a good place to start.
Who are you bringing up like people that you like watching? Who are some of the like your biggest inspirations within like the content space?
Yeah, so starting out, it was actually there's a guy. He lives in the UK. He goes by Arky on TikTok.
Okay.
And so him and Low, which a lot of people know, those are like the first two guys that I ever watched on TikTok. And I got a lot of inspiration from them, just what they were doing, how they were making their setups, how they were making their videos. So it started there. Now people that I watch, obviously like Jayhawk, still Low at Arky. Yeah.
Shout out Jayhawk.
Yeah, Sedlum, Rillo, guys like that. Guys that we're all kind of doing similar stuff.
Yeah.
So it's easy to take inspiration from them.
That's dope. And then where do you see content as a whole going in the next 6 months, year, couple years? Do you see it staying with like long form or like doubling down on short form? Like, do you see maybe a style or a trend that might come to the forefront of content creation?
Yeah, I think people's attention span is only getting shorter. So in my mind, I think short form content is the place to be. It's definitely what I have the most fun making. It's what I consume. I go back and forth on whether I should make longer form videos, 8 to 10 minute YouTube videos, but it's not something that I consume. So I don't know how much I would enjoy making it either. But I think short form is like, it's really picking up some traction here.
Hell yeah. Sticking with short form.
Yeah,
all right, my man.
Sure.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
What is your name? Where are you from? And what kind of content do you make?
Hey guys, I'm Ari Elkins. I'm from Los Angeles, California, but I recently moved to New York City, and I create music curation content. So basically making people their favorite playlist and hopefully putting people on to their favorite artists.
Yeah, you got really good taste in music. I'm always watching your TikToks being like, what new music should I be listening to? Which is fire. What like setup do you use to film your TikToks? Are you using a camera or are you just using a phone?
Yeah, I'm using a camera. I use the Sony ZV-1 with a Rode Video Mic Go, like wireless Video Mic Goes.
Nice. What kind of lens?
It's the ZV-1, so it's like the built-in point and shoot kind of. So yeah,
right on. Fire.
Yeah.
Were you when you first starting out? Were you shooting on phone and then?
Yeah, I was shooting on an iPhone.
Okay, cool.
But I'm thinking about upgrading my setup post this weekend. To be honest with you.
What cameras have you been trying out?
I've been trying. It's right over there, but I've been trying out the ZV-E1, which is like a body that you can add different lenses to, and then I've been trying the new 16-35 Mark II 2.8.
Fire.
Which I want to get.
What a setup.
But it's like $2,400, but we'll see.
Dude, wouldn't make a dent.
No, it'd make that.
Okay, what is something you're trying to work on as a content creator moving forward?
I feel like I'm a bit too comfortable in my content. I feel like I have a method that I know works, which is exciting, and I know that like if I do one thing, it will result in an X number of views, but I want to kind of be more creative, and I feel like when I started making content in the beginning, I did it out of a place of creativity and like trying new things and really seeing myself as a creative person. Now I feel like sometimes I get in this habit of just kind of going through the motions and creating content, you know, day after day that kind of feels monotonous to some extent. So in the upcoming year, I kind of want to push myself to be a bit more uncomfortable in the content that I'm making and try new things and go out of my comfort zone.
I like that. Okay, what is one thing that you implemented either into your content, a mindset shift, something into your business that allowed you to take your stuff to the next level?
I think there's two things. One is like, this is the most basic answer, but like consistency. I know everybody says like be consistent, but I think if you do something enough times, like you'll see results, and just consistently putting out quality I think is important. And then the other thing kind of goes hand in hand with consistency, but once something starts working, to double down on that thing that's working and really invest in that thing and really see how you can build whatever that is.
I like that. One piece of advice to up and coming creators who want to, I mean, you're a little bit different where you're, I guess like for me, right? I'm making content around photography and video. You're within the music niche. So if someone wanted to kind of follow in your footsteps and become successful within the music industry on the content side of things, do you have a piece of advice for them? Besides have awesome taste in music.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing was going to be just like trust your taste. I think be true to yourself, and like if you like something, there's bound to be someone else that likes something. So like don't necessarily follow the masses, but like be true to your own taste and create your own niche within the music niche. You know, my niche in the music niche is a lot of like indie folk and indie pop stuff. And I'm not the biggest hip hop fan, so I don't even try and like enter that market, and I let that be to the people who are like, you know, obsessed with hip hop, and that's just not me. Yeah.
I like that. And how do I phrase this? Where do you see content going as a whole in the next, 6 months, year, couple years?
I think I was having this conversation here this week, and we were talking about how like a couple of years ago, jumping out of a plane for a video was like the coolest thing. And now today you have to jump out of a plane naked with no parachute for people to care about it.
It's so true.
And I think that's kind of like a metaphor for content in general, which is like the content space is getting saturated across all niches. So I think people are having to become more creative and create even better content. So I think in coming years and coming time, we're just going to see improvements in the quality of content. And I think like, especially in short form, even though it's, short form videos, I think we're going to see people putting extensive amounts of time into their short form videos and spending even more time than they are right now on quick 30-second, 45-second videos, because I think that's what's going to be necessary to stand out and have success in the short form content space.
I think that's so true. I feel like when TikTok was first kind of coming into the forefront, it was so easy to just put like an iPhone clip or just like a dancing video.
Yep.
And I kind of agree with you where like, even if it just is a 30-second video, the quality has to be elevated.
100%.
Yeah.
Or the or your idea has to be elevated.
Sure.
Maybe like you can still get away with a great, iPhone selfie video, but you have to be the funniest person. Like
True.
A simple joke doesn't work anymore. You have to like, be a true comedian or have something that trips people up in the video as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, dude, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. What is your name? Where are you from? And what kind of content do you make?
Prince McClinton. I am based in Boise, Idaho. And man, what type of content do I make? I create transformation in people and brands. That's the type of content that that I make.
Fire. And you also run an account called Art of Visuals.
I do. I run a creative community called Art of Visuals. Yep.
And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Art of Visuals, well, the ethos was basically just to build a platform to inspire artists, to educate artists, and to create a place to promote artists, to get artists' work seen. And so we started out as a hub, resharing images, and then we started doing gallery events. We had a magazine at one point, and so we were helping, so we were publishing photographers, which is like, I mean, how many photographers do you know that are published, right?
Yeah, not many.
So like, because like, it's not really, like there's not a place for us within like the greater whole of that sphere. And so we created a magazine, you know, where, you know, a lot of people here have been published in our magazine. And, you know, Andy Toe had the cover one year. Jude Allen had the cover one. Yeah. So Art of Visuals just, man, it's just a creative community where we put a lot of love and give back a lot of love to the creatives. And then we have a full-time creative agency where we do a lot of productions. We shoot a lot of commercials for Sony. We do a lot of work for just a lot of big creator style brands, a lot of brand strategy and that type of work.
Fire. What camera setup are you rocking right now?
I got that freshie. So I got
that new.
Yeah, I got that new. It's that Alpha 7CR with the 14 milli on it.
The Prime?
Yeah,
Fire.
Prime 1.8. I've been having an incredible time shooting portraits with this
nice.
trip. Baller. I'll have to show you some. You want to see some of the stuff? I'll have to show you some of the stuff. But getting that just larger than life look. The camera's incredible, man. I mean, it's pretty much like a hyper compact A7R. The color science on it is really good. I'm really happy with the color science, and so it's been a great camera.
That's dope. What is something you're trying to work on as a creator moving forward?
Something that I'm trying to work on it as a creator moving forward is to continue to prioritize the inner child in me, the kid, because what I've realized on this trip, you know, there's baller photographers here. Like I'm not a photographer. I'm a creative entrepreneur, you know, and but I can shoot. I've worn all the hats, and it's really cool showing my work to, you know, I haven't shot in a while, and showing my work to some of the guys, and the wild compliments and the feedback I've been getting from people has been really awesome. And a lot of the models have been telling me like I'm the funnest person that they've shot with, and like I'm the only person that's brought music and dancing and all this stuff. And so going back to the inner child, I think when you bring the fun and the curiosity, just having fun, not taking things seriously, and being curious and just having a good time, allows me to be able to create incredible art. And I think it works I think it's universal, you know, for anyone.
Absolutely. Was there something that you implemented, and we kind of touched on this a little bit on the drive in, but was there something you implemented, whether it was a mindset shift or, you know, something you actually incorporated into your work as a creator that allowed you to take things to the next level?
Yeah, I would say, dude, there's so many, to be honest. Visualization was a big one.
Like manifestation, visualization?
Like I'm talking like 8K resolution in my mind. I could see I was living through things that hadn't taken place yet, and then they would take place almost like exactly the way I saw them. Like I saw my house before I bought it, and I was having a hard time finding a home to buy, and at this place had like been up on Zillow for like 2 hours. And when I saw it, my wife and I were like, no freaking way. Like, this is the exact house I'd been describing, and I'd been explaining it to her, and she painted it.
Wow.
I explained to what it looked like, and she painted it. And then we were standing in the house the next day. And then that night, we got a phone call while we were at a friend's wedding. There was 15 people that went and saw the house. We put in our offer. 15 people. And we got a call that night saying we got the house.
Wow.
I've had brand deals, you know, I've had $250,000 deals come through that I saw, and then I would send love. Like I would see these visions, and I would just think about the people and would just send them my genuine love and intention. And I'd get like an email 2 weeks later with the project for that dollar amount. And so the world is it's a magical place. And I think the biggest the biggest tool is just setting intentions and focusing, realizing that we have to do outer work, like in base reality, we have to work for things. But as much work that we're putting in our base reality, it's also really important to put the work in on the other side, because there is this other reality that is the foundation to this reality. And so we can create here, but we can also create in this other realm in our minds, and bring the things that we want in this reality into our experience at a much faster rate, with a lot less pain and trials, if we choose to.
Absolutely. I think that's beautiful, man. I think people often underestimate the power of the mind.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing.
It is. It's fire. Sure. Fire.
What's one piece of advice you have for an up-and-coming creator? You're more so on the entrepreneur side of things, like you said. So someone who's maybe trying to crush it on the entrepreneur side of things within the creator economy.
Let's just go creator, bro. Because
sure.
I would say, because I am a creator and I work with creators, but the single piece of advice that I would give to anyone is find your onlyness. Like, you have a gift, and you're gonna have to pay attention. You're gonna have to talk to people. You're gonna have to go back into your historical life and think about what your family used to tell you you're so talented at naturally, what people say about you, what people tell you, these things that you may not internalize and be aware of, but it's all around you. And each and every one of us has a very specific gift that's uniquely ours, and no one else can own that. And if you can find that and express that, you'll live a very beautiful life. You won't have to worry about burnout, because you're operating within like your will, your truth, which is the energy, and that is infinite. And so there is no running out of fuel. And when you find that, you also get rid of all competition. You have no competition. Doesn't matter if you're doing product reviews and then there's 100,000 other people doing product reviews. If you have this certain essence about you and you allow that to shine, it is going to attract those people, and they are going to ride with you. And so just just be you. Figure out what your thing is, and be authentically you, and really allow that essence to shine. Because if you do, bro, I promise everything will come to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. Where do you see content going in the next 6 to 12 months, maybe even the next following years?
6 to 12 months, next following years. Well, the next 6 to 12 months, I think you're just gonna see people posting a lot more raw content. I think you're gonna see the more raw TikTok stuff spilling over to other platforms. I think there's a place for hyper, really well produced content, but I think there's a space for just real raw uploads and that type of content, especially in long form format. I also think documentary style education in a way. So people put out these 5-minute education videos and things like that. But I think long form, putting out a 45-minute, well put together educational thing that you want to teach. I think there's a huge opportunity in that, because I think you get all the content in the 45-minute, you get all the micro content that comes from that you can piece out in all these different ways. But there's so much value in this long form content. Everyone's making this shorter form content. I just see that as a huge opportunity in the next couple of years, man. I don't really know.
It's hard to think that far ahead.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't it's kind of a waste of time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's kind of we could all sit up. I could tell you everything's gonna be AR and AI's. Oh, in 3 years from now, none of us are gonna exist. It's all gonna be. It's gonna be the AI takeover. Yeah. So.
But yeah, I like that. I think people are craving that more raw, authentic, long form content for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I think more avatars. But actually, that is a take I will say. I think there's going to be a lot of avatar-based content. And people operating through avatars.
Interesting.
In ways. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah,
man.
brother. Thank
Hell
you.
yeah. What great interviews.
Dude, so good, honestly.
Not bad. I mean,
The host kind of sucked.
Yeah, I was about to say it can only go so high,
Right,
obviously.
right.
But hey, glad you made that happen.
Yeah, I also went to like a podcasting 101 event. Didn't really.
nice.
learn
Are we
much.
doing okay?
We're doing
Yeah,
great.
We're doing good.
We're doing
We're
great.
hitting checking the boxes.
The one thing I will say that I like took, the biggest thing I took away from that was that how important the first minute of the podcast is, because, and I think we're doing a good job because we have the hook at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But I was talking to Brayden, I was like, maybe we can even spice up the first minute to keep viewers' attention. even more.
Right.
So let us know
important.
if you guys are liking it, huh?
Yeah, and what do you want? What do you want in the first minute?
What would you want in that
kids?
first minute?
I can flash a nip. Dude.
Yeah, dude. Go
Harry.
over to YouTube.
Yeah.
And then the last workshop I went to, which was actually a great one, was how to pitch yourself. And I went into it thinking like, oh, I'm going to learn how to like, you know, send an email to pitch myself to like a brand
Right.
to work with them. And it was kind of like that. But when I think about pitching myself, because I'm more so on like the content creation type of thing, like doing brand deals on social media, my thing is like, oh, if I'm going to pitch myself, it's going to be like, oh, I can make 3 TikToks for you. These are my ideas. And like, this is what my rate would be.
Right.
They're thinking about pitching in the form of like, I have this project that I'd like to bring to life. I have a story about wolves in Alaska that I want to tell, a documentary about them. Or this guy spent 3 years starting in COVID going to all the national parks, photographing it. And he's like, I want to bring this book to life, but I need like help publishing it and like bringing it to the forefront. So they're pitching their like larger projects and trying to get sponsors and brands and companies behind them to like help them bring it to life. So they were talking about pitching yourself in that way. And I think a lot of the times we talk about like content creation and social media, but like not so much about like documentary work or like those passion projects
That's so
it's
cool.
not a spec ad. It's just like something that you're really passionate about because you love filmmaking and photography, and pitching yourself in a way and positioning yourself in a way to like get funding for that. So I thought that was really cool. And I think we could honestly do a full podcast episode about that.
Dude, I love that. I think that's so cool because it's not like, yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say. Like, how to like pitch yourself to like make money from a client. It's like, you know, like pitch yourself to like make that passion
Make that
project and
movie.
like have someone help, you know, because you need finances, you need this kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
So I took photos of literally every single slide and like took notes. So I think we could like kind of bring that information to the
Yes.
rocks. So if you guys want a podcast episode about like how to pitch yourself,
I'll be listening too.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go. What else did you learn?
Going back to like being around all these creators, I really did like feel super inspired, and I left feeling really inspired and wanting to just go even harder at this kind of stuff that we're doing, content, the podcast, everything. And you feel inspired in a way that's not, you feel inspired and not like, fuck, I can't do this, because
Right.
you're around everybody who is doing it. Like all the creators are making a full-time living, like being creators. And sometimes I feel like you can look at someone and be like, okay, they did it, but yeah, they did it. I don't know if I can really do it. And I almost feel like people might even listen to this podcast as much as we try to like put people on game, like, oh, well, of course Brayden's working for the Lakers, but like maybe I couldn't do that. And so I think being around those people and like really being exposed to that, it makes you feel like you can actually do it. And so I feel like for me, I've kind of always had a block of like, okay, yeah, I can do this social media stuff, but like I also have to have freelance clients because I don't know if I could really be like a full-time creator, even though like that would be a kick-ass job.
Oh, dude, that fly just flew down Kostas' head.
Yeah, it just
that was crazy,
nosedived,
dude. I thought
bro.
it was gonna.
He just FPV'd your face.
It might have came out of your hair.
I felt that coming
He's
down.
making it
I was
home.
watching it. I was like, what is that, dude? But yeah, I do think that's such a thing to be around people that you like think like honestly have like some like mystique around them. They're like, wow, like how do you do that? And then you're like, oh, you're just a regular person.
Yeah.
You talk the same as I do. You both shit, whatever, you know, like everyone's the same, you know?
I feel like that creativity is infectious too,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah, you get around that group and you're like, oh, I'm really inspired. Like,
Yeah.
and you get to look at all the things that they're posting all week, which
Yeah.
is dope. Yeah.
And even like exchanging numbers with these creators or like DMing with them, having people that you can reach out to and like talk to stuff about. If you guys are listening to this and you guys don't feel like you have like people in your corner or like close circle to talk to, like be the one to like reach out and try to find kids that are into the same things as you guys and like trying to do the same stuff, because having a support system, man, this career can be super lonely and isolating. Like
Totally.
it's super important to have people that you can like hit up and just shoot the shit, be like, yo, I'm struggling, or like, how did you do this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your buddy's in the comments right now. I'm telling you, he's in the comments. He or she's in the comments.
Right.
Go find
Just
him.
vibing in
Yeah,
there.
just vibing, dude.
100%.
Go send him a message.
We've talked about this before and you brought this up, Chase, but there's someone behind the brand you want to work with. And I realized this firsthand. You think of Sony and you think of this massive company, right?
I was like TVs and shit.
yeah,
So many things.
I'm like, I really want to work with Sony, but like you kind of put them up on a pedestal. And we were in Utah. We go to the top of this mountain. It was really cool. This girl comes up to me, Jayhawk, and Matty Kay, and she goes, hey, I forget her name, but she goes, hey, I'm the head of social media for like Sony Alpha. Like I'm the one, Matty, who retweets you all the time. And I was like, oh, like you're the one who's running the account. Like there's a person behind the brand. So if I want to like work with Sony, like I got to hit you up.
Damn, if only we remembered her name.
I know, right?
Fuck.
But
We're done for.
but we've talked about this before, but it's like, it's so easy to put these massive brands on a pedestal.
Yep.
And you kind of forget that there is actually someone behind the big name of the brand.
Absolutely.
Every time, dude. And they're just hanging out,
Just hanging out.
scrolling social.
They're a person that you can make friends with that can
Yes.
retweet you all the
Yes.
time and
All
make
the
you
time.
fucking famous, you know? It's
I mean,
important.
dude, like even like us, like we're all of a sudden at 28K, and someone that might see us for the first time might think we're some big established podcast.
Which we are.
Which we're on our way. But really, it's just like
Kian in the corner.
it's just me like waking up at like 9 a.m. and ripping 3 clips every day, and then going to like surf and play golf and fucking drop out of school. So you know what I mean? But like,
Not a bad life.
that sounds pretty fun.
Fuck yeah,
No,
Kian.
I totally agree, Kian. Like someone might come across our socials and be like, man, they have a huge machine. Like they're cranking out all these contents. But it's really just Kian.
It's just Kian, baby.
It's
and then
Kian in
he's
the
golfing
corner,
and
dude.
surfing.
Go
dude. I
living
love
the
that.
life,
Come on.
dude. Come on.
yeah, we got strides to make. Like we got lots of moves that are coming down the line. So
You trying to lower your handicap? You hit some more pars.
Oh, yeah.
Make strides to make.
I really want to get back into golf. Maybe we'll do it together. But
I'm always down.
I'm trying to let you catch up a little bit before I
Kian's got nothing but time now.
Yeah,
so
before I
you
hit
let
the
him know.
links.
Speaking of movies, my girlfriend worked on a movie, produced a movie called No One Will Save You. Trailer came out today. And I'll go check it out. No One Will Save You. It's an alien thriller. Fun little watch.
We'll link it.
Amazing.
Boom.
Yo, episode 70. Keon, what do you got for me in the
oh, yeah,
corner?
we're gonna start doing some quotes in Keon's corner.
Oh.
End the pod with a quote?
Quotes are fun. You
Tap
know,
this on
you
your
can take
bod.
it serious. You can use it as a joke. But today we're gonna do a little anecdote.
This is from our good friend
Little
Napoleon
story
Hill.
time. All right,
Napoleon
so
Dynamite?
let me get my storytelling voice on.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Do
Find
one,
it.
please.
A
Find
long
it.
while ago, no, I can't do that. All right. A long while ago, a great warrior had to make a decision which ensured his success on the battlefield. He was about to send his armies against a powerful foe whose men outnumbered his own. He loaded his soldiers into boats, sailed to the enemy's country, unloaded soldiers and equipment, then gave the order to burn the ships that had carried them. Addressing his men before the first battle, he said, "You see the boats going up in smoke. That means we cannot leave these shores alive unless we win. We have no choice. We win or we perish." They won. Every person who wins in any undertaking must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by so doing can one be sure of maintaining that state of mind known as a burning desire to win, essential to success.
I'll break this camera if you
Burn
tell me
the
to.
ships, bro.
I love
That's
it.
just me.
I love that.
It relates to me.
Yeah,
Hey,
and then
I love it, Keon. Hey,
Keon read that and then was like, fuck college.
Episode 79,
Straight up, though,
baby.
straight up.
Come on, Keon. I'm happy for you, dude. College Dropout. Episode 79. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the... Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 79 of the 505 podcast. Make sure to hit the sub button, leave a like, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Nice, dude. Great sign off. Dude, that quote is fucking great.
That was great.
Such
That
a
was
good quote.
fun.
I
never
literally
heard the full
I got
quote.
goosebumps twice.
Yeah.
Usually
That
I'm
was
like,
sick.
usually I like not a big quotes guy.
Yeah.
I was literally
That
just
was
like,
fire, dude.